I know it's probably live. Yep, I'm live. I figured that was going to happen. My boots were in the way. Hey, everybody. Preppers One here. Oh, I'm so organized. It's scary. I hope everybody's doing well. Sorry about that. I had to, like I said, my boots were in the way, and I was trying to pull the chair up. And so, anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Welcome, welcome. We're going to talk about, are we all in this together? Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the stuff, and we're going to go over some thoughts and share these things with you guys, and we're going to go from there. But before we get going, I just want to remind everybody that if we have any kind of technical difficulties, the last 3 streams have gone off without a hitch, so that's a good thing. So hopefully that will continue. But if we do have any interruptions, I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there ahead of time, and just to share that with you guys to let you know. All right. So anyway, I want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel, so please be decent. Yeah, don't jinx it. Exactly. Follower of Jay said, don't jinx it. I know. 3 straight with no problems. But so anyway, it's a very family-friendly oriented channel, so I would ask everybody to please be decent in the chat. No nastiness, no racism. Be decent to each other, I ask, please. And thank you for doing that. If you do not, we have my awesome moderators lit up in blue that will boot you out of here. Okay, it's just not worth it. There's no reason to be stupid. So go take that to somebody that wants to fight and argue, and then you can be happy doing that someplace else. Hey, Bruce Wells, does anyone know why military drones are flying over Woodbridge? I had not known they were doing that. I have no idea. So if anybody else can answer that question, that would be awesome. Thank you so much for the donation, though, as well. I do appreciate that. But no, I had not even heard that. So, all right. So let's, when I smile, I look like Elvis Presley a little. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know how I you know who I get told I look like a lot? Oh my God, I'm trying to think now. Uptown Girl, he's saying Uptown Girl. Billy Joel. I get told I look like Billy Joel a lot because he's got his head shaved and he has the goatee as well. So I get told I look like him a lot. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So anyway, so are we all in this together? And I talk about that a lot at the end of my videos, and when I do the end of my videos, and I say we're all in this together. But are we really? So we're going to talk about that a second, and why there's an issue with that. Okay, so let's think about this a second, okay, and really put it into perspective. And this is kind of the way I look at it. Let's say an SHTF event happens tomorrow. Major SHTF event happens tomorrow. What happens then? Politics realistically go out the window. Any kind of other issues you may have, whatever your issues are, you believe this, they believe that, all that goes out the window because, in my opinion, at that point, it becomes about survival. Okay, and I'm going with a worst case scenario type of situation. I'm going to tell you what, one of the most awesome things that you will see in this country, if there is a natural disaster anywhere in the country, people will put aside the BS and they help each other. They're not saying, well, excuse me, I'll help you, but are you a Republican or a Democrat? What is your religious views? Where do you stand on this or that? People don't ask that. They just help. And I think that is a fantastic thing. And I truly believe that in a post-event, more people are going to be willing to help work together for the greater good of each other. And so I'm hopeful, and and I say that optimistically, of course, that people will work together in a worst case scenario. Another thing that I was of, and this is kind of where I'm at with this too, and I've talked about this a little bit in the past. In a post event, if something like, now my kids are older now, okay, so they're adults now, but let's say they were still 10, 11 years old, okay, and something happened to me. and there's my two 11, 12-year-old children out there, I would hope that there would be somebody willing to take them in, take care of them. Because I think that that's really important, because people don't think about those things. And I do. I do think about those things. I think about the fact that in a post-event, there's going to be a lot of adults that are not going to be with us anymore. And there's going to be a lot of children that are going to be lost with no guidance and no idea of what to do or how to survive. And they're just going to try to survive. But I think that if there's decent people out there, but I think there's decent people out there, but I think that they need to, people need to think about those things. When I plan, because being a prepper, I try to always think, there's that old saying, prepare for the worst and hope for the best, right? So we have to look beyond just ourselves. Now, I know there's a lot of preppers, and I've talked to a lot of people, and I've had a lot of people say, it's just me and my family. That's all I care about. I don't care about anybody else. And I think that is really the wrong way of looking at things because, there's a lot of people out there that can bring a lot to the table that we don't realize that they can bring a lot to the table. And again, I've talked about the whole safety in numbers type of thing and those type of things. But, with the way that things are right now with our country, let's just go with we're just going to go with the United States and the division within the United States. And a lot of that division is driven by the news media. They're probably the biggest culprits, but who's pulling their strings behind the scenes? The government obviously perpetuates it as well. They want that division, okay, because they don't want us working together, realizing what the true issues are in this country. It's not the people. It's not the people. It's the people that are in charge is the true issue, okay? When you have people that have been in politics for 30, 40, and 50 years and nothing has changed, and they just continue to sing the same song and dance and play these games and manipulate people and tell people what they want to hear, say anything that they want to say to get elected, I find that a travesty. I really, truly do. Really do. And, they're the problem. And people keep electing these same people over and over and over again, and nothing changes. When there was one of the, I can't remember if it was, I think it was a congressman in the island of Guam, okay? I think it was the island of Guam. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but there was one of the islands in the South Pacific. This rocket scientist, who is a representative of our country, just remember this, okay? He was wondering if it would be possible to tip it over. I'm like, how backwards and ignorant do you have to be to think that an island could possibly tip over? I mean, that's the scary thing. These are the people that we're electing into Congress to be senators to run our country. That's kind of frightening. That's kind of frightening when they don't have that common sense to realize that, obviously you cannot tip over an island. It doesn't work like that. But that's what this person thought. And I can't remember who it was. Mitch McConnell is shown warning Kentuckians to wear masks. Today he had one on himself too. Follower of Jay just said that. And let's talk about the mask for a second, guys. We'll talk about. Hold on. Follower of Jay said, unfortunately, many will fend for themselves to fit their stash budget. Food shortages. Oops, hold on a second. I just want to finish reading this statement here. Food shortages will determine how much you can help others and vice versa. No, you're right. You're right about that too. And you have to decide, what you can do to help or what you can't do to help. I mean, there has to become a limit. You can't help everybody. But let's talk about masks for a second. I mean, let's be realistic. Have you been out there? Have you seen some of the masks that people are wearing? I mean, realistically, okay? That doesn't help. They're not helping. Even an N95 mask, they basically have already said that the particles of can get through the N95 mask and still make you sick. The mask is the only thing realistically, if you want to think about it, realistically, the only thing a mask is doing, if you cough, you are basically coughing into that mask, okay? But again, depending on what kind of, I mean, I've seen all kinds, believe me, I've seen all kinds of stuff, all right? Unless you're like using a high grade thing that is certainly designed to keep everything out, you're not keeping everything out. You're really not. And you're not keeping everything in. That's a fallacy as well. So the mask, realistically, in my opinion, and I'm going to give you my opinion, it's about compliance, doing what you're told. You're seeing it pushed out there all over the place. Wear your mask, social distancing. Well, we're not creatures that are used to social distancing. We're creatures that are used to interacting with people, talking with people, touching people, okay? Oh my God, heaven forbid that you touch anybody, right? And I'm not talking in a bad way, on the arm or whatever the case may be. But again, the mask is more about compliance, doing what you're told without question, okay? So there's the thing. This is what they told you to do. So let's go back. Remember when they were saying, oh, don't worry about masks, you don't have to wear a mask. Now all of a sudden, now it's everybody has to wear a mask. Everybody has to do this. Well, the last time I checked, the numbers are going up exponentially every single day. Okay. Now, do I want to go to the big rave, go to the big party with, 1,000 people? No, I don't. And guess what? Even in a non-corona environment, I don't want to go there. Okay. That's not my idea of a good time. I understand for some people that is, and that's fine. That's your, bag of beans or whatever you're into. But realistically, it's like if you are, keeping to yourself for the most part, doing what you got to do. I mean, the plastic shields and all this other stuff. I mean, it's just, and then, they have the window underneath that you have to hand the money through and stuff or whatnot. I mean, it's crazy. And then, or if you're using your debit card or your credit card, if you're doing it that way, you're sliding that thing in there. And then you're touching all the pads, and the guy behind you, guess what? He's touching all the pads. So realistically, at June 20th, Walmart requires customers to wear a mask in stores. But here's the way to get around that, Autumn. I'm going to tell you a little secret, okay? A little secret. This is funny. This is funny, but it's true, and it does work. So they require masks now, right? Walmart requires masks. I'm going to tell you how you get around it. Southern Boy Prepper, a lot of your subs came over. Thank you so much. Up to 745. Let's see. I received my Kale 4 and 1 UV sanitizer for my mask. All right, well, very cool. And I'm glad that you're up to that point. That's awesome. So a lot closer to getting to 1,000 subscribers, and that's awesome. So again, guys, if you haven't yet, go over there and show support to Southern Boy Prepper. He's trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And again, like, we're a big community, so I really think that we should, we should support each other. So let's get him up to 1,000 so that he can get himself monetized and do that. So thank you. If you would do that, that would be great. But okay, so let's get back to Walmart. All right, so here you go. You want the trick, guys? It's terrible. I did it myself, so I can't say I didn't do it. I did it. Okay. Last time we went to Walmart, Heather and I go to Walmart. Heather's got her mask on. I do not have a mask on. All right. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing it. Okay. So we go up and they got like this Gestapo guy standing there. And he goes, sir, do you have a mask? And I said, I do not. And he goes, well, you need to have a mask if you come in the store. And I said these magic words, and I was let in the store with no other further questions. I have a medical condition. Okay. And he said, oh, okay, well, go ahead, sir. Have a nice day. Swear to God, they cannot ask you what your medical condition is because that is a violation of the HIPAA law, okay, which is the Privacy Act. If you say you have a medical condition, they cannot tell you you are not allowed to go in the store. They have to let you in. And that was just like that. He flipped the switch and was like, okay, sir, go ahead, have a good day. Now, we get in the store and I looked at my daughter and I said, guess what my medical condition is? And she said, you're an a-hole. And I went, exactly. So it's terrible. It's terrible. It works. So just information, if you care to use it or not use it, that is going to be completely up to you. But yes, I did it and I will do it. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not doing it. Okay. If I'm social distancing from people, not being right on top of everybody, I'm not wearing a mask. Like anybody out there, if you guys have been out there and you've had the mask on and tried to breathe in that thing, it's ridiculous. And again, the masks are not helping. They're not helping. So if I'm wearing, okay, so I take this piece of paper and do this, is that helping? No. Okay. Using a bandana, that's not doing it either. And it's ridiculous, some of the stuff that I've seen. Okay. It doesn't work. So you're not helping. What they're doing is getting you to comply, be a good sheep, do what you're told, don't question anything. Here you go, do what you're told. And that's what it comes down to. So I have a tendency to always buck the system. I always have. This is kind of who I am. And like Heather says, you're ridiculous, Dad. I don't know why you won't wear a mask. So East Tennessee Preparedness. Thanks for the shout out. Got a good subscriber jump. Love the channel. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the donation as well. And I'm glad you got a jump up as well. That's absolutely awesome. Yeah, if you have COPD, wearing a mask is not good for you. Realistically, guys, wearing a mask, period, is not good for you because you are breathing back in. We breathe in oxygen. We breathe out carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. I'm sorry. So when you're breathing that out, and then you have a mask, all you're doing is rebreathing that in. It is not good for you. The oxygen levels are not where they need to be. It is not healthy for you. You're going to, a lot of times, end up with more issues, headaches, and all other kinds of issues, okay? And number two, it doesn't work. The masks are not working. If you're using that paper cloth mask, that's not doing it, okay? Number one, it's not sealed tightly to your face. If you have any kind of facial hair, okay, it's not going to work. You're not going to get a good seal. That's the reality of it. So you need a mask with a charcoal filter. There you go, Mark. Mark Saxon just said that. They have different things that you can use. They're going to be a lot more effective. But realistically, what they're doing is ridiculous, and it's not working. And that's the bottom line. And that's pretty much why I won't do it. So, like I said, it's just and again, personal preference, individual choice. You want to wear a mask and do that, that's fine. You can do that, okay? I for the most part, I'm home most of the time. If I go out, there's only realistically a few places that I go, Now, I'll be honest with you. The one thing I do, and like if you go out to a restaurant now, okay, in New York, and I'll give you an example. Like if you go to a restaurant in New York, they ask you to put a mask on until you sit down. Once you sit down at your table, you can take your mask off, okay? Again, ridiculous. There's a local restaurant that Heather and I do like to go to occasionally. They are, making people more distance apart, which is fine. But, I'll do that just because I don't want the restaurant to get in trouble. And I'm basically putting it on for a minute, sit down, and I take it right back off again. So, I mean, I have done that. So I'm not being a total jerk. But if I'm going shopping at Walmart, I'm not wearing a mask. Because if I'm going to be in there for half an hour, not happening. So you would look cool with a bandana mask. Yeah, right. I'll tell you, it's just, like I said, it's just not my thing, realistically. And I think it's kind of, do I believe there's a virus out there? I absolutely do. Okay. Again, in my county, we have less than 150 cases in the whole county. We're a pretty spread out county. There's been 8 deaths in our county. And realistically, how many of those people had other underlying issues on top of that? I'm pretty healthy, to be honest with you. So yeah, I suffer from lung goateists. Yeah, right. Oh my God. But it's just like I said. Oh, so I had earlier today when I made my video earlier. All right. I had some flare outs from the side on my goatee, and I'm going to tell you why. When I had to go, I went to a meeting today with the company. I got to make sure I say the name of the company right now. JDAGA. Okay, the name of the company is JDAGA. I was trying to remember. I'm going to have to tell you how I remember how to say it too in a second here, but it's JDAGA. Okay, so I had to go to a meeting with them. They gave me a bunch of stuff to show you guys, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to probably show you 3 things tonight because I got literally probably about 12 of them here. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not turning this into an infomercial, but I wanted to show you some of the other options that they do have and stuff like that. So we're going to do a couple of those things a little bit later in the show. We'll do that. But guys, I see we're at 1,000 people in the chat, and we're at 306 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do that to show support for the channel, and thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate that. Again, it really helps with the algorithms, and also I like to see a good number of thumbs up as well. So thank you ahead of time for doing that. And again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay, but anyway, you know, like I said, I'm home most of the time. I'm usually doing things around here, so I don't go out a whole lot. You know, if I say, oh yeah, I went here or whatever, usually I'm picking the times when I go when it's not busy. Like Heather had wanted to get something at Walmart, and I said, well, let's wait to this day because there'll be less people there. And she's like, okay, and that's what we normally do. Hey, Prepared Grunt. This is one area where I have to disagree with you. Yes, masks do work. I will make a video explaining how and why. Still love you and your channel, though. And that's fine, dude. I appreciate that. I appreciate, you know, we're going to agree to disagree. And that's fine. And thank you very much for the donation as well. Like I said, I'm not trying to make it a fight. I'm not. And it's just, I'm just saying for myself, I made the choice that I don't want to wear one. Okay. And I'm not going to be bullied by a store to wear a mask. Okay. And I'm not going to. So, and again, if I have to pull that, you know, I have a medical condition card, then I will. And again, like I said, they cannot ask you what that is because of the HIPAA laws. It's absolutely. So if they ask you, well, what's your medical condition? You say, I do not have to divulge that information to you. You're not my doctor. And that's it. And that's the end of the story. And if they try to give you more of a hard time with it, then you ask for a manager. And guess what? They're going to let you in the store. They're going to let you shop. So again, it's a personal preference, personal choice. Again, the mask, realistically, if you sneeze, it's basically keeping that in that mask. This is pretty much the only thing. But you can still get the virus through your eyes, through your ears. Again, you can even get it through your mouth, you know, even with that mask on. So the particulates are so small, they can go through those masks. All right. I mean, realistically, and I'm not trying to be graphic here, but if you have a fart, if you fart, you're going through your clothes, right? Your underwear, whatever pants you have on, and people still smell that fart, right? Well, did it get trapped in your clothes? That piece of cloth saved your day? No, it still went out there and people still smelled it. It's the same type of situation. And like I said, I'm not saying that to try to be graphic in any way at all. Let's see. 13 eggs, one cat quakes, one Heather sighting, and one kitty. No bees, no call from mom. I'm hoping she doesn't call tonight. We'll see what happens. Oh, and just so you know, the bees that stung me, they were yellow jackets. So they're not honeybees. So they're going to die. I'm actually going to seal that up so that they can't get in there, just so you know. Why did I change my view on the masks? You know, early on, there's a lot of information out there that's going around. And if it was an N95 or higher was the mandate, I might be more apt to say, okay. Even an N95 is really not giving you adequate protection. But when they're telling you basically you can use a scarf, a silk cloth, a bandana, those are not helping you. They're not offering you proper protection. And then when you see people with masks on, are they wearing eye goggles as well? No, they're not. Okay. So there's a lot of, and realistically, I mean, if you want to think about it, this virus is airborne. Okay. Which they went back and forth on that for a long time as well. So, you know, it's just there was a lot of reasons for the way I feel about it, you know, and it's just it's not working. It's not working. I mean, you know, and there's so much, like I said, there's so much misinformation with everything that's going on. I'm very curious. Like I said, do I think the virus? the virus hasn't gone away. Obviously, there's more issues. And here's the other thing. Okay, now I don't know if you guys remember, but I got sick back in November of last year. I think it was either October or November last year, where I was in bed for a week, where I slept 16 hours a day. I felt like absolute garbage. The second week, I was very lethargic. I had no energy. I had no appetite and stuff like that. There is talk that the virus was here before, which was here in that time period, and the people were getting sick, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys remember, over the winter, I would be doing videos, and people would say, man, you're really laboring to breathe. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember that, okay? Now, part of it was too heavy. I mean, I know that, okay? And, I've actually been a lot more active this year, and I've dropped weight, which I definitely feel better doing that as well. But there's a possibility, and I don't know 100%, but there's a real possibility that I might have had that virus back then, okay? Maybe a milder case of it, but, that is a possibility. And, so I think that, I think it was November. Happy Elf, because I can't remember if it was October or November, but I know I got sick, and I was like literally for 2 weeks, and everybody was like, oh, well, you got to go to the doctor, whatever. I have because I'm a nurse, I'm a horrible patient. I'll be honest with you. I'm a horrible patient because I'm going to critique everything. I'll just take care of myself, especially like with the flu or whatever. We thought it was just like a flu virus at that point. It very well could have, been something else. And a lot of people were sick. And so, again, you just don't know. Many of the Northern California have something similar. Yeah, well, okay. Denise Spencer just said, or is it Dennis? I'm sorry. But, no, it's Denise. Sorry about that. Yeah, but it was like, that's what happened to me then. And like I said, I felt like I wanted to freaking die. I'm not kidding you. I mean, that first week was horrible. And there's a lot, there was a lot of stuff. And if you remember early in the flu season, it was really bad. Remember how it was so bad, it was horrible. And there's a possibility that virus was already here at that point. So again, we don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, I sounded terrible. Yeah, exactly. If you go back and look at those videos, I was not a happy camper. I was trying to do videos to get videos done. And I was like, literally, I was sleeping 16 hours a day. And I don't sleep. If I get 6 hours straight, I'm happy. I'm good with that. Now I may take a nap later in the day. That happens too. Hey, Merry Christmas. Masks did not work during the Spanish flu. There you go. That's a very good point. Very, very good point. And thank you very much for the donation as well. Yeah, and the thing is, like with the Spanish flu, if you go back to that, see, here's my problem. And I watched a video today, and this is something that really disturbed me today, and I want to talk about that for a second. So I watched this video today, and they were talking to one of these healthcare professionals, and they were like, you cannot refuse a vaccine. If there is a vaccine in a pandemic, you cannot refuse it. They can come and get you, take you to the doctor's office, and forcibly inoculate you against your will. He says, and that's the law. You have to do it. And I'm sorry, but I have a huge issue with that. I'm not taking any kind of vaccination. I'm going to put that right out here right now. And if somebody comes and tries to force me to take a vaccination, there's going to be an issue with that as well, because that's not going to happen. And so if that's where I make my stand, that's where I make my stand. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm not going to have somebody dictate to me like that you have to do this no matter what, and you don't have the right to refuse. Bull crap. As long as I'm a free, breathing human being, I have the right to refuse. So I saw that video, and that really, really bothered me. And, again, my thing is always this. Hold on a second. Hey, nose picking. I was washing my hands in the 60s. Grandparents lived through the Spanish flu. Oh, hold on a second. And taught me I haven't been sick in 15 years. Don't touch the eyes, nose, or mouth. So here's another thing with it. Thank you very much for the donation, nose picking, and thank you for that statement. Here's another thing with that. Now, think about this. Now you're wearing a mask all the time. You're out in public, you're wearing a mask. You know what's going to happen, guys? You're going to touch your face more. because you're going to adjust your mask. You're going to try to get here. Your hands are going to be up and around your nose and your mouth that much more. And nose picking is right. If you do proper hand washing, like I said, I'm not looking to get into the big crowd and go out and have the big party. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anyway. I keep my circle of friends very close, and I don't have a whole bunch of people. It's not like I have big crowds of people up here. It's generally the same group of people if they come around, okay? So, hey, Donna Smith. Hey, Ed, I remember when you were sick. Have you seen the studies saying immunity appears to only last for a few months? They are comparing the immunity to the common cold, also a coronavirus. Well, there you go. You could be right. Yeah, the immunity could only be for a few months. So that I knew that was the case too. But again, a lot of things that they're saying, and thank you so much, Donna, for the donation too. I do appreciate that. A lot of things that they're saying, they're flip-flopping all over the place. And that's an issue too. They, like I said, they don't know all the facts. That bothers me. Okay. I mean, how deadly is it realistically? We don't know. I mean, because it's like, if they say, well, when all these new cases are being discovered, the death rate's going down. Now, I did the video and I talked about what I believe that the true death rate possibly is with this thing. But again, the people that are getting it and not coming back from it, realistically, are your compromised folks, your elderly who are going to be more vulnerable. All right, your people that are going to be, morbidly obese, way overweight. Okay, and when I say morbidly obese, I'm talking 100 plus pounds overweight. And you guys, we see them all the time. There's a whole bunch of people out there like that are not taking care of themselves. And I get a lot of it has to do with depression, and they're depressed, so they're eating and stuff like that. But I want you to think about this too. With this virus, with everything that has been going on with this, we've had a huge uptick in suicides, a lot more issues with mental health problems because people are not handling it well. Okay, now here's the other thing I want you to think about. Let's go back to our beginning points of what we're talking about being in this together. You look at the reactions that people have had to this situation, okay? Again, increased suicides, increased problems with mental health. Hey, Merry Christmas. Today you can have forgiveness. Repent today and be baptized in Jesus' name's Acts 2:37-38. This is the only way to heaven. Thank you for the statement, and thank you very much for the donation as well. Okay, I do appreciate that. Right. Okay. So here we go. Lady Kickboxer says, as a nurse, also, I would hope anyone. Hold on. I want to read her statement. Anyone with a history of healthcare would advocate for the medical freedom of the people and the patients. Exactly. And here, and so you look at all asthmatics as well, right? Yep. JJ is right. But people that have already compromised systems, they're already weakened because of, cancer or whatever the case may be. Those are going to be the people that are going to have the really hardest times recovering from this. Okay. Again, there's a lot of stuff that we're not being told about what's going on. And I heard all the stuff was, the virus will be over November 4th, right after the election. Are they using this to further their agenda, meaning the Democrats? Well, of course they are. Okay. Because realistically, let's be realistic. Before this virus hit, okay, I want you to think about this, guys. Before the virus hit, the economy was doing well. Unemployment was very, very low. People were doing better financially. There were still issues in this country. Believe me, there was still a ton of issues in this country. But when the whole impeachment thing didn't work out the way that they wanted, when the Russian collusion BS didn't work out the way they wanted, now we move on to the next thing. So now we get... now we get the pandemic happens, and then we go right into the race division stuff that's going on. And of course, who are they blaming that on? Of course, they're blaming that on the president, which is ridiculous because I blame it on the media. I blame that completely and 100% on the media. There's a narrative that is out there, a division that is being pushed on purpose. They have an agenda, cause chaos, cause disruption, and then, like Biden is going to be the savior of the day. Remember, guys, Biden's been in politics for 49 years. 49 years he's been in politics. He was the vice president for 8 years, okay? And if anybody has been paying attention at all with his history, I mean, he's not the one, okay? He's not the one. Now, is President Trump perfect candidate? Absolutely not. Okay, he has his issues, and I've said that before. Okay, but Biden's not the answer. But they had to do something to discredit him, make him look even worse. And you think about it. You look in the media, everything. And I'm going to say this again. I want you to pay. These are things we need to pay attention to. Everything in the media about the president is negative, negative, negative. So what happens is people see that all the time seeing that negativity, and they start thinking, well, that must be true then. They keep reporting this, they keep reporting that. Remember when they were sure-fired, oh, he was working with the Russians. He was working with the Russians. And come to find out, wasn't it Obama that had him wiretapped under fraudulent things, okay, under a fraudulent premise to find out what was going on? Didn't President Nixon get impeached and resigned the presidency because of doing wiretaps? I mean, none of them are angels, guys. None of them are angels. And again, and I'll say it now, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Republican, Democrat, two sides of the same coin, two feathers of the same bird. Their agenda is not to help you. If they did, this country would be in a lot better shape. Their agenda is to continue to make the rich friends rich, and that's what they care about. And that's all they care about. Hey, Donna Smith, both sides are using the crisis to spin a narrative. It's not a political issue, it's a health issue. Right, exactly. And they're trying to spin it in that narrative, and you're right. And thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for that statement as well. Yeah, what did Biden ever do? Nothing. Well, he was fondling little girls, and you've seen the videos of it. And see, here's what I want you to think about. If that's what you see him doing on video, what does he do when he's not on video? Think about that. Think about that. Full of hope. International repo market broke mid-September. This CV is to hide the global financial reset repo where the banks trust each other and lend and borrow. You know what? And that's a great statement. Thank you very much for saying that too. There was a huge issue in the fall. If you remember, all these banks were short and they were borrowing. There's the thing that I can't remember the name of it is where they get money from the federal government so they don't become insolvent. And there was a huge issue with that. And now all of a sudden distractions happen and now they're not talking about the banks, but that issue hasn't gone away. Winnie X Poo, I think we should all just get along. That would be awesome. And I wish we could. I wish we could. That would be fantastic. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you very much for your statement as well. So let's get back, guys. I know I get distracted very easily. I'm like a kid with a shiny toy. Again, we're at 1.1 in the chat, guys. We're at 494 on a thumbs up. I'm going to ask for a thumbs up again real quick if you haven't done so yet to show support for the channel. And again, it really does help with the algorithms. And thank you for doing that ahead of time. And again, if you are not subscribed, please make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon as well to get all notifications. So working together. In a post-event, guys, nobody's going to care if you were Republican, Democrat, or Independent. Nobody's going to care what religion you were. Nobody's going to care what ethnicity background you come from. People are going to try to survive. They're going to try to work together, and I think that we should. And the best thing would be if we could do that now. If we could work together now, stop letting them manipulate us. Stop letting them manipulate us. And if we could do that, if we could come to that conclusion and say, hey, we're being played. I don't want to be played anymore. Huge differences could come from that. Huge differences. Not this is my group and that's your group and you're this and I'm that. That doesn't help. It doesn't. There's no help in that at all. All that does is divide us further. Mr. Rose, Joe B. messes his pants daily. SND wonders who did it and wonders who did it. Oh my God. Yeah, you know what? I believe he has early onset dementia. I mean, And that's the other thing, and I talked about this before. All this distraction of everything that's going on, they're being able to keep him on the side and not have him out there in the public eye, continuing to make stupid gaffes, saying stupid things, and people realizing what a complete idiot he really truly is. You know, scary. And thinking of him as our president is frightening, absolutely frightening. So, okay, real quick, guys. I want to share with you Jay Dega again. I've teamed up with Jay Dega, and they have they do hemp, they do CBD products. Okay, so if you go to the website, which is in the link down below, you'll see it in the link, jdega.com. Okay, if you go into that link, go to their website. They got all kinds of products. I'm going to show you like 3 products right now. Is what I'm going to do. Okay. And I got a whole bunch. So what I'm going to try to do is, like in every live stream, I'm going to try to show you like 3 different ones until I've showed you everything that I have. But just to give you an idea of the diversity of the products that they have. Okay. And, but if you go to their website and you do decide to make an order, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1. Okay. And if you do that, you will save 15% off on your purchase. If Sleepy Joe wins, then we'll have the Muppet Show from the 1600 Penn Avenue. Yeah, that's about right, too. And I can't wait to see who he picks as a running mate. That should be really interesting as well. Thank you very much for the donation as well, Asa. Okay, so so what we're going to do, I want to make sure I'm going to read the right one here. Okay, this is, we're going to do this real quick, guys, okay? CBD Ultra Eye Repair Cream, okay? So let me just find that on here so I make sure. Reduces appearances of lines and wrinkles, helps to improve skin tone and appearance, targets specific problem areas, anti-inflammatory, reduces puffiness, lightens appearance of dark circles, stimulates collagen, perfect addition to your skin care routine. Okay, and it's 20 milligrams, and so that is what that looks like, okay? And that is $30, okay? So, again, that's just one of the products. And like I said, I'm just going to show you 3 of them real quick. All right, so that was that one. Let me see what else I got here. Because I got like, here's my list of notes that were written out. And I didn't write them out because if I wrote them out, I wouldn't be able to read them. All right, so let's see. Okay, we'll do this one next. This is the CBD AM and PM Moisturizing Cream, okay? Reduces wrinkles. Let's see. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, actually, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. All right, yeah, reduces wrinkles, prevents free radical damage, visibly fights the signs of aging, improves skin tone and appearance, hydrates, moisturizes skin, helps minimize the appearance of lines and wrinkles, works overnight and during the day hours. And that is that one. And that's a 20 milligram as well. And it's a 1 ounce bottle. All right. And so that is a moisturizing cream. And that is $39. So just showing you that there. Okay. So a couple of different products for the ladies that they use. And all right, so the last one I want to show you is, this is a hemp lotion. It's an organic hemp lotion in full spectrum CBD. All right, so what do we do with the lotion? It rubs the lotion in, or it gets the hose again. So if you remember Silence of the Lambs, guys, that's my reference to Silence of the Lambs. Full of hope. I'm not American, but whoever wins the election, the other half will be furious. We see this huge civil protest from red or blue, no matter who wins. Just saying. You know what? And I think you're right. I absolutely think you're right. So I just want to show that one again. And if I can find that one, hold on a second. Let's see. I can't find that one. Maybe she didn't write that one down. Okay, well, anyway, that is a lotion, Okay, so that's just an example of 3 different products that they have. If you go on the website, again, they have so many things, and I just wanted to get some of the stuff to show you the diversity of what they have. So I will do 3 more in the next live stream. So I just wanted to show you those. And again, if you go to jdaga.com, which is in the website, or I mean down in the description, you'll see it down there. The link is there. And if you do make an order, just make sure that you use the discount code PrepperNurse1 when you're checking out. So then that way you make sure you get your 15% discount. Okay, so that's that. I want to talk about my website really quickly, and I will get this link on the website as well, guys. I just haven't done it yet, but I will get this link on the website. So if you go to PrepperNurse1.com, I will have it set up there where you just click on it. It'll take you right to the store as well. Okay, so I will have that on there as well. But I wanted to say real quickly, we have the Prepper Nurse 1 community on PrepperNurse1.com. If you are looking to connect with like-minded people, it's a great opportunity to do that there. So definitely go and check that out. It's totally free. You do have to register, so that's something I want you guys to think about. But again, it's very private. You get in there, we got great message boards, all kinds of different groups in there. If you're looking to try to connect with somebody from your state or your country, it's a great way to do that. If you're looking just to chat, it's a great way to do that too. So it's a good way to connect with like-minded people. And again, I think that's really important that we do that. And the other thing I wanted to mention really quickly, and then we're done with the business part of it. Like the Prepper Nurse 1 community is not business. That's for you guys, okay? But I also do have on my website legacy freeze-dried foods as well. So that is something that you can take advantage of as well. Having the freeze-dried food as a long-term food storage option, it is there. What we have available on the website is there, okay? So definitely take advantage of that because it's there as well. And that, when you go onto the website and you hit store, it drops down. It'll say legacy. Click on that. What they have available is what I can order right now, okay? So just putting that out there as well. And I just missed somebody's GEH 1507. Check out AmericanWalk.org. Dr. Richard Barrett, he has 100% recovery. He's a Texas doctor. I am a paramedic. He's using, so he's using an inhaler. I saw that. Yep. So thank you very much for that information, and thank you for the donation as well. But yes, he is a doctor, and I heard that he has 100% recovery rate, and they're using, how to say it, I can't think off the top of my lung, but it's an inhaler type of thing. A nebulizer treatment is what it is, okay? So, yeah, if you got that and you got it, then that's definitely the way to go. Okay, so what we're going to do real quick, we're going to do our egg count. So, before we do the egg count, I'm going to ask again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do a thumbs up. We're at almost 1,000 people in the chat. We're at 601 on the thumbs up. So if you haven't shot a thumbs up, please do that. Just to show support for the channel. Make sure, and again, it really does help with the algorithms. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon as well. So everybody's egg count, let's see. Let's see what everybody is saying today. I like Steve 88's answer. He says 10/12. That's very nice. Okay, if you said 10 eggs, like Full of Hope did over there in Wales, then, or Scotland, I believe, Scotland, I'm sorry, you were correct. We had 10 eggs today. So very, very hot day today, too. It was about, I think we hit 88 or 89 today. So it was very, very warm. But the girls did good. They did good. They're steady. They're very, very steady. We may have a bad day here and there, but for the most part, they do very, very well. So, how long is the 15% discount good for? Norma, good question, Norma. The discount, I'm going to tell you, it is as long as I decide to have it at 15%. So right now, I plan on keeping it going, and that's my way of helping you guys out. That comes out of, basically, that comes out of me. The 15% discount comes out of me. So I wanted to make sure you guys got a decent discount, and that's why we set it up that way. So and I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I do make money. I do make a percentage off the sales, But the thing is, again, that goes back into the homestead. So you're helping yourself, but you're also supporting the channel, and I do appreciate that. But I'm going to keep the. I plan on keeping the 15% discount. I don't plan on letting that go. So that should be there for, as long as I'm working with this company, because I want to make sure you guys get a decent discount on what you're ordering. Okay. So that's why I did it. All right. So anyway, I like you and your channel, but I think you are way wrong about the opinion about wearing the mask. Shield Maiden just said that. And that's fine. You know what? That's fine. It's been proven. Realistically, it has been proven that is not protecting you from the coronavirus. If you think that mask is protecting you, if you think wearing, let me see, I'm going to try to give an example of, okay, here. Okay. I'm going to, if you think putting a bandana on over your mouth is protecting you from the virus, then why are not nurses and doctors in hospitals using bandanas? Why are they using much, much higher grade protective gear? Okay, so that's what I want you guys to think about. Okay, the cloth mask that the dentist uses when they're taking care of your teeth like that, that's basically for the spray up and the stuff that's coming out of your mouth so that it doesn't get them. But they also wear a face shield a lot of times. Do you notice that? Okay. How many, and I'm not trying, guys, I'm not trying to be condescending in any way or shape or form, but how many people do you see in the stores wearing a face shield? I will give you the answer because it's very, very simple. Zero people are wearing a face shield. They're not protecting their eyes, okay? So realistically, the protection that you think you're getting, you're not. This is not a medically approved way to protect you from the coronavirus. It's not, okay? So that's why I'm saying when they have, like if you ever, okay, so I actually have a thing that I can, like in the wintertime, that I can put down over my head that basically has like this much coming out and everything else is covered, right? Just my eyes. And I'll use that for riding when it gets really cold because it helps keep your face warm, right? But, go to the OSHA website, Lori Austin just said. I've seen, Logan Freeman said, I've seen 2 people wearing a full face shield. Well, there you go. Out of how many people? 2 people out of how many? So if you're really looking to protect yourself and if you're really looking to protect other people, then you should be in full gear. That's what I'm saying. Eye protection, goggles, or, a face shield, and that type of stuff. So, that's why I'm saying that if like I said, all these different things that people are wearing, it's a joke. It's a joke. That's not protecting you. So that's what I'm saying about that. Ed, the store clerks were wearing full face. Oh, hold on a second. Carrie Torres said, Ed, the store clerks were wearing full plastic face shields when I went to the food shopping today. Well, that's good. I'm actually glad because you got to realize something. Those store clerks are dealing with a lot of people going through their lines and stuff like that. So, yeah, that would make more sense that they would do that. They should. They should be protecting these people more, especially the workers, because they're the ones that are on the front line. All workers that are out there. I'm talking fast food. And again, we've all been to the fast food places, right? They got freaking bandanas. And okay, and just so you know, too, guys, let me show you something really quickly. All right. So here's my mask. That's not doing it. So if I'm walking around in the store with my mask on like this, and I got it down so that I can breathe through my nose, that ain't doing it. And tell me you haven't seen people doing that too. Or they just pull it down all the way when they're in the store. You know what I mean? So I'm just being realistic. So if you can smell a fart through the mask, you can catch COVID-19 wearing the mask. Facts. You're right. I'm not, I don't disagree with that. Hey, Troy, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, but yeah, I mean, and guys, like I said, I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm trying to be realistic. they're really not giving you the protection that you think that they are. They're not. So, unless you have medically approved stuff, and that's expensive. Follower of Jay, Ed, you look like a Hell's Angels with that bandana mask. That's funny. You should see some of the other stuff I got. I got like a really cool one that I wear when it's cold. That literally I put my glasses over it, and it's the whole mask. And I'll tell you what, it really works on keeping your face warm, because I'll ride. Like we have our fair weather riders, we like to call them. That as soon as it's below 50 degrees, they won't ride. I'll ride in 30-degree weather. I don't care. I'll layer up as long as it's not snowing. And once it starts snowing and they start putting salt on the roads, then I don't ride, because the salt will destroy your bike. But up until that point, I don't care if it's cold or not. I'll still go ride. I love riding. So, but I don't have a sense of smell, so I'm safe. Oh my God, Happy Elf, that's funny. Yeah, you're safe from that offensive smell. So. But again, so like I said, you know what? I'm just sharing information. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but we need to realize there is so much misinformation out there. So much misinformation out there. They tell us one thing, then they change it and make it something else. Then they make it something else, and then they change it again. It's just it's ridiculous. They flip flop so much. And again, I've heard, so here's the other thing. So a person has a whole lot of other underlying medical issues. Okay. So let's say they had a bad heart. They have diabetes, and then, they get COVID on top of that. And then they go to the hospital, and then they die. Then it's automatically a COVID death. I'm not okay with that. Okay. I'm really not okay with that. Is COVID part of the reason that they died? Sure. But the other issues were also there that caused that person to have issues. Okay. So, there's a lot more to it. And again, like I said, as far as me, I'm not out going to the store every day. It's that's not what I'm doing. So, I mean, I'm just being, like I said, I got to be honest. Like I said, I'm not going to lie to you guys. If you have proper mask, if you have proper eye protection, to protect yourself and to protect other people, I mean, go ahead. But again, that cloth paper mask that they're giving you is not working. Absolutely 100% not working. So that's being honest. Okay. I'm never going to BS you. That's not what I do. I would never do that. Okay. So, I do believe that if you are keeping your immune system strong, if you're getting your proper rest, with anything else, you're less susceptible to can you wear your bandana as a mask at a bank? Well, they're not still opening the banks up yet. So at this point right now, they're still doing, the drive-throughs. But I know, like here in New York, you don't go into the bank at all. Everything is through the drive-through. So that's how it has been. Do you wear a safety belt? I know people who don't. Yeah, of course I wear a safety belt. That's a totally different kettle of fish. Safety belt has saved my life more than one occasion. So, do you really? Okay, follower Jay. That's okay. Hold on a second. Let me ask. I want to answer this question. Do you really think that everyone is going to be in this together when the economic collapse happens this fall? I'm going to tell you what. I really, really believe, and I believe that there's an economic collapse has already happened. We're in the throes of it. Okay, so many businesses closed. So many people don't have jobs to go back to. Okay, a lot of issues. People with delayed having to pay rent or their mortgages, so they took that money, or even if they didn't, or if they had it, or spend it on other things. Okay. When that time comes and the piper comes calling and wants their money and they don't have it, you're going to see a lot of foreclosures. You're going to see a lot of people put out on the street because they can't pay that rent. Okay. Huge issues happening. And I think, again, I think we're going to have a lot of issues in this country. I believe there's going to be food shortages. I think there's a lot coming up. And I've talked about these things in the past, and I really, truly believe that that's going to happen. This system cannot continue the way it's going. And I want you to think about this too, guys. When they did the stimulus package, what was it, 2 trillion? I think the stimulus, it was either 1 trillion or 2 trillion. If somebody could answer that for me really quickly, because I want to be really clear about what I'm going to say. I'm concerned about flu plus COVID-19 explosive combo. Yes, this fall, I think you're going to see that really, really happening. And thank you very much for the donation, Asif. I appreciate that. And it is. I think that the virus is going to come back much worse. Let's see. Because somebody tell me how much the first stimulus was. Was it 1 trillion or 3 trillion? Okay. All right. Glory 1958 said 3 trillion, 2.2 trillion. Tina says. Somebody else says 2 trillion. Somebody says 2 trillion plus. Okay. So let's go 2 trillion plus. Okay. Yeah, there's another one. Janie just said that I'm concerned about war with China and Iran. You know what? That needs to be a concern as well. That absolutely needs to be a concern as well. But let's say 2.2 trillion. I think that sounds about right. 2.2 trillion. Where'd that money come from? We don't have that money. We just magically made it appear. Okay. Those are things you guys got to think about. If they do another stimulus package, where's that money going to come from? All right. That devalues the dollar, puts us further in debt. And again, things are not getting better. They're getting worse. Okay. With everything that is happening, with everything that is going on. And again, people have said to me this year, man, you've really done a lot at your homestead this year. I've done a lot at my homestead because I believe really, really bad things are coming. So here's another thing I want to share with you guys. If you have building projects that you want to do, and maybe you're not going to do them right away, but you have the money to be able to get the supplies, I would highly, highly encourage you to get your building supplies on site as soon as you possibly can. I believe bad things are coming. There's going to be a lot more coming down the pipe that we're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Okay. If it gets to a point where we have to isolate at home and not go out in public at all, okay, then you're going to see some major, major issues. You're going to see some people losing their minds, okay? But if you can stay active and stay busy and have, an outlet of some sort. And I'm going to tell you what, all those people out there protesting, and they're still protesting. You look at Portland, Oregon. They haven't stopped. It's like 6 weeks in Portland, Oregon. They're still protesting. Look it up. I mean, pay attention to this stuff. There's a lot of stuff still going on. This isn't, and these idiot, governors, you can't do this and no social gatherings and you can't go to a funeral and you can't go do a wedding and, you can't go to church. But, if you want to go and protest, that's absolutely fine. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, So, yeah, Antifa's in Portland. Yep, Happy Elf just said that. Yeah, and again, they need to lock this stuff down, tell these idiots to knock it off, and really go in there and crack some skulls if you have to. That's how you start. You start a line, and you just go right through, and you get them out. Period. You end it. That's what they need to do. You cannot let these people dictate how things are going to be, especially when they're destroying people's properties, they're looting businesses, they're burning businesses, and guess what? They don't care whose business it is. They don't, because it's not theirs. They're just looting them, and it's ridiculous. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop, But let's see. I'm worried that they are really trying to do a cashless society. Steph Ham just said that. I want you. Let's talk about a cashless society for a second, okay? Let's talk about that for a second. If we have a cashless society, forget about doing side jobs anymore. You're not going to be able to do side jobs anymore. That would actually end up being barter stuff, okay? There's no way that you could be untraceable in a cashless society. Every transaction that you would make would be tracked, traced, and believe me, they do it now, but they would be able to do it to everybody. So they would know exactly where you were, where you spent your money, how you spent your money. Do you want to give them that kind of power? I don't. And don't get me wrong, okay? Because I'm a person that's in the public eye, am I on the list? I'm sure I am. And but the thing is, I'm not looking to overthrow the government. I'm not looking to take over anything. I want to be left alone. That's what I want. Leave me alone. Let me do my thing. Let me live my life. Let me be happy. I'm not trying to be in control. That, there's people out there that's what their whole agenda is. That's what their whole goal is. They want to be in control of everything and in charge of everything. I want to have peace. That's what I like. My sister spent the night the other night here. Okay, I'm going to just give you an example of something. And she got up the next morning, and she said to me, she goes, "Oh my God, Ed, it's so peaceful here." And I went, "Yeah, it is." And I'm going to tell you what, state of mind, your mentality, peace of mind. There's no greater thing than having peace of mind. And if you can be in an environment where you can relax, I want you to think about this. These people that are living in the cities right now, with all this upheaval, and every time you turn a television on and everything that you see is negative all the time. What does that do for your mental health? What does that do for it? It doesn't help it, that's for sure. It gets you upset, you're stressed out, which makes you more vulnerable to disease and sickness, okay? But if you can relax, if you can unwind, if you can have, like when I go outside and I'm doing something, it's work, but it's not like work. And I don't know how to really explain that, but when I'm doing something to help myself here at the homestead, I'm doing something positive for myself, and it's a great feeling, and to make our place better and to make us more efficient, it's an awesome feeling. And it's the only way I can describe it. And it's peace. In everything that I do, I know I'm helping us live a better life. And that's what it's all about. And I think more people should try to strive for that. I really do. Let's see. I got out of the hospital 5 weeks ago and had green phlegm bronchitis. My neighbors thought I had COVID. I didn't, and I was discharged a week later. Well, I'm glad that you didn't have that. That's good. Paul Tyler says, I use 95% cash in everything I buy. Right, and I'm going to tell you what, I do mostly cash transactions myself just because, again, it's nobody's business where I am. It's nobody's business what I'm doing. Like I said, if you're paying with your debit card, I see people go to Wegmans, buy a pop and a stick of gum, and they use their debit card. Now they have a record of where you were, what you purchased, all that information. And you know what? That's tracked. They know your spending habits. They know what you buy. So they're going to try to gear things towards you. When you go to a grocery store, guys, and you will walk, you walk down the aisles, and at the end of every aisle is a display on the end of every aisle. That's not done by accident. That's done on purpose. That's marketing. And different companies will pay extra to have their products on the end because you're more likely to go by and go, oh, yeah, I need that, and grab it and take it. You're more likely to do that, at that point. So that happens a lot as well. So, but they're forced testing some nurses. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. So here's a great example. That lady kickboxer just said that, 23. That's a great statement. You work in a nursing home, forget about it. You're getting tested. And I don't care if you're the janitor. I don't care if you're a secretary, CNA, nurse manager, whatever. Everybody, I guarantee you, everybody's been tested at least once, if not more. Hey, Mac, working on the homestead is an investment you can control. You're exactly right. You are exactly right. And thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for that statement. You're right. When you have a homestead and you make your homestead better, it's an investment in yourself. It's an investment for your family. Because like I told Heather and I were talking the other day. I mean, obviously, when I die, what I have is going to my children. Okay? It's going to go to Eddie and Heather. They're getting everything I have. Heather's going to be in charge of it all. We've already talked about that. She has to be. Okay? But the thing is, hold on a second. Cashless, stop your funds if you disapprove of laws, vaccines, auto taxation. Huge. It's China times 10. Hold on a second. It's illegal for them to refuse cash. You're right. And and exactly. If they disapprove of what you're doing, and they can liquidate your accounts at any point in time. Tony Riley says you should pickle some of the squash. Thank you very much, both of you, for the donation. And yeah, you know what? I definitely plan on. I've given some of it away already. I'll be honest with you, to some of my neighbors. When Brian was here today with his father, I gave them a zucchini and a squash, and actually they took 2 dozen eggs too. So, But yeah, I definitely I'm going to eat as much as I can because I know where it came from. Somebody had asked me, and I wanted to answer this really quickly. They said, "What kind of fertilizer did I use in my garden?" None. I don't use any kind. It's all all organic. Everything is about the soil, taking care of the soil, and the garden has been absolutely fantastic so far this year. Just absolutely fantastic. I mean, you got to remember, here we are, middle of July. I did not get my garden in until the first week of June, and I'm already getting squash. I've already got zucchini. I've already gotten cucumbers. The peppers are growing very well. Everything is coming along really, really nicely with everything. So, North Shore Preparedness says growing pea and yellow bean seeds as we speak. There you go. You just keep it going. Never, keep it going. Actually, what I'm going to do with some of the zucchini, I'm going to shred it and then I'm going to freeze it because then I'm going to use it for zucchini bread, like in the winter and stuff like that. That's one of the things that I want to do. So yeah, that's definitely on the list of things to do. I'm going to definitely do more canning this year. Like I told you guys, I keep getting more canning jars whenever I go out. Like I said, I believe that things are going to get worse. Society is deteriorating as we speak. The economy is complete garbage. I see a lot of issues coming to the forefront as we move forward. So the more that you can do to prepare, to be ready, to help yourselves, that is what we should all be doing. We should all be doing that because there's no idea. We have no idea what's going to happen. Okay. And we don't. There's no idea. We all have an idea to a point, and we think that it may be this, it may be that, but there's no knowing. There's no knowing. So it's going to be interesting 6 months moving forward. And let's see, we got Mr. Luce is up here now. Hey, Heath! So we locked the birdies up already. We went out there earlier. I don't know if she heard me. Heather! Oh, I didn't. Well, you didn't reply. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, okay. Never mind. She's on the phone with Mom. It's always pleasant. Anyway, let's see. I freeze up shredded zucchini for bread in the winter. There you go. Yep, the Hatfield Preppers just said that. Yeah, and it's good to do. It's great to have for zucchini bread. And I'm going to tell you what, I absolutely love zucchini bread. All that type of stuff. So, yeah, no, Heather's talking to her mom, so she probably won't be coming in to say hello. I don't know. How do I know she's on the phone? I don't know what she's doing. So, anyway, really quickly, we're going to do this right now, but I'm going to ask really quickly again. We're at 713 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And thank you for doing that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms with the channel, so I appreciate you throwing that thumbs up there for showing support. And I like to see a good number of thumbs up, too. I'm not going to lie. Also, if you are not subscribed yet to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon as well to get all notifications, okay? Also, so we are Legion. We are Legion because we are many. We're all over the world. We're all over the country. We're a huge family, a huge network of people. And when I say Legion, I mean Legion in the good way, meaning there's a lot of us. We're all over the place. Where is everybody from tonight? We got upstate South Carolina, Pittsburgh, PA. You guys are jumping the gun, but I'll give it to you anyway. Boston, Mass, upstate South Carolina. Let's see. See, as soon as I say we are Legion, you guys start putting it out there. Kansas, Montreal, Canada, or California. Is that Canada or California? Hold on, I got to go back now and look. Let's see, where was that one? We got Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, Akron, Ohio, Montreal, California, CA, California. Let's see, Akron, Ohio, Apollo, PA, Cape Cod, Chicago, Slick America, Oklahoma. We have Indiana, 5 Points, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Illinois, Chicagoland, Estonia, Raleigh, North Carolina, Texas, Virginia, Oregon, Michigan, Buffalo, New York, Connecticut, Las Vegas, Kentucky Woods, Mid-Michigan, Ulster Park, New York, Des Moines, Iowa, Nebraska, Nowhere, Oklahoma. I still love that every time I see it. I think that is an awesome name. Wyoming, Buffalo, New York, Illinois, Alabama, Canandaigua. We have Nebraska, Troy, Vermont, Buffalo, New York, Kentucky, Columbus, Ohio, Praisburg, Ohio. Let's see, Georgia. Let's see, we have Quebec, Canada, Mississippi, Wyoming, Maryland, Phoenix, Southwest Florida, Minnesota, Colorado, Deer River Basin, Michigan, Buffalo again, New York. We have Nashville, Tennessee. So, guys, like I said, again, we're all over the world. We're all over the whole country. We are a huge network of people. And I've said it many times, and I'll say it again. If we work together, there's a lot of power in working together. There's a lot of strength in working together. And when you put like-minded people together, it's a huge thing. Like, we had the prepper get together, and I'm going to talk about that really quickly too. We had the prepper get together last year, and we had people come from all over the country for that get together, which was awesome. And it was amazing when you put like-minded people together, the conversations flew very easily. Red Wolves 2015. Hey, Ed, sorry I haven't been on lately. My dad passed away 2 months ago. I've been doing a lot of work. I'm from Arkansas. I'm a school teacher. Are your thoughts on education? What are your thoughts on education and the virus? I'm first of all sorry to hear about your dad. Thank you very much for the donation. As far as with the educational system, I do have my concerns. You gonna come and say hi? I just did. Oh, well, that's not saying hi. I have a lot of concerns about the kids going back to school, with having to be traumatized, with being basically put in little isolation cubicles. I don't think that that's healthy in any way, shape, or form. So I definitely have a lot of concerns with that as well. So I hope that answers your question. And again, I'm really sorry to hear about your dad. That's never easy, losing a parent. It's never easy. My dad's been gone for several years. He actually died before we moved up here. And he's been gone for quite a while. Luckily for me, my mom is still alive. So yeah, she's awesome. So, but anyway, so we had met all these people from all over the country came together, and it was an awesome get together. And I was really, really looking forward to doing another get together this year. But unfortunately, we're going to have to postpone things till next year. With everything that's going on, I don't want people to take that risk. And then again, if you're having a large gathering of people, I don't think that is the smartest thing to do. So unfortunately, we are not going to do a prepper get together this year. The parks aren't even, you're not even able to book a pavilion yet in the parks. And, we're in July. But we will definitely, as long as things get back to semi-normal, we plan on doing a prepper get together next year. So, and I love that. It was so much fun last year. It was great meeting everybody and talking with people. And like I said, we had people, I'm just going to run it down real quick. Washington, D.C., Virginia, we had Tennessee, we had Pennsylvania, we had Vermont, all over New York State, Pennsylvania. I'm trying to think, Ohio. We had people from Ohio. So it was people from all over the place. And they came, and, some of them rented, space for the RV or whatever. They came with their RVs, and it was awesome. It was awesome. And what I want to try to do moving forward, I want to make it more than one day. So if we can do a prepper get together that, for a 2 or 3 day event. So like, if you can't come on, like, say Friday, maybe you can come on Saturday. If you can't come Saturday, maybe you can come on Sunday. I would like to try to do something like that, where, if I could get someplace where we could just stay, like if you came with a tent and stuff like that, I think that would be very, very cool. Okay. So I'm going to try to see what I can work out here in the future. And I think if we can get if I could get a farmer and say, listen, can I rent your field for like 3 days and rent a field, bring tents, come and stay, just do a huge get together. I think that would be so cool. I would love to do that. So we're going to look into that. Okay. So we're going to see what we can do. Yeah. Woodstock. Right. Or Edstock. Ed Woodstock. He said, that's funny. But I think that would be very cool because it gives you more time to connect with like-minded people, share ideas, talk and stuff like that. Raiders' new stadium is available. Yeah, right. There you go. But I think it would be a lot of fun. So like I said, this is something that I definitely wanted to make an annual event. Like I said, unfortunately, with everything going on this year, we're going to have to not be able to do it this year. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there because people had been asking about that. And I just wanted to, like I said, I was hoping that things would open up more, that things would calm down, and we would be able to get that in. But unfortunately, it's not. Yeah, prepper stock. I like that. Yes. That is awesome, Susan. I like that. Prepper stock. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what. Even okay, so here with the get together last year, and I just want to share a little bit about this. We had some people came with guitars, they played music, and so we enjoyed that. Like I said, talking with people from all over, sharing ideas. There was people here from New York that realized that they weren't that far from each other, so they connected that way, which was very, very cool. Hey, nose picking, here's a crazy idea. Can you use CBD like oil, like salt, when cooking? I know about the brownies. You know what? I don't know if you could do that. I really don't. I will have to ask about that, and I'll find out, and I will let you know. But thank you very much for the donation as well. But so here's the other thing too with this, and I wanted to really talk about this because I thought it was really important. So at the end of the day, there was all kinds of leftover food and stuff like that. So some people took some. I took a lot of it. I gave some to. Like Greg and Chris took a whole bunch of stuff because I said, you guys gotta have to take this. I don't have the room. And they were like, okay. But everybody helped clean up. The people that were still there at the end, everybody helped clean up. We left that pavilion spotless. So they never could say these people came in and they trashed the place. We left it very clean. And I think, again, that's part of the prepper mindset. We have a different thought process than most people. And I just think that that's awesome. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. And I know I'm running over on time here, and I apologize. I get rolling, and you know how I am. So, but I really, excuse me, I really wanted to try to get together in this year. But we're going to see what we can do for next year. And I think I have a place in mind that I think would be perfect. We could throw up all kinds of tents. Like if somebody had a big tent we could use, like for a pavilion type of thing and do that type of stuff. I think that would be really, really cool. And so we're going to see what we can do. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this now, guys. Before I do, I want to I'm going to ask really quick one more time. We got 800 people in the chat. We're at 808 on the thumbs up. Ask for one last push on the thumbs up. So if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do that, please. And thank you for doing that ahead of time. Again, like I said, it really does help with the algorithms. And again, if you are not subscribed yet, please make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you for that ahead of time as well. Again, I want to thank my moderators who continuously and tirelessly come in here every stream, keep the chat clean, make sure that people don't act, badly, and I appreciate that because I definitely want to keep this very family friendly, and I want it to be enjoyable for everybody. So thank you guys for doing that. I really do appreciate that. Remember, guys, we are all in this together, and just by the way, this is the 4th straight stream with no interruptions, which is awesome. So I think that's really cool. I'm glad that hopefully those issues are going to be behind us. Let's see what happens with that. But remember, we're all in this together. That is important to remember, because we really are. When the end of the day comes, it's not going to make any difference who or what background or how much money or no money that we came from. We're going to have to work together. It's really important. I think that that's a huge thing. Okay. Also remember, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell those people that we care about every day how we feel. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. STD, step, thing, and day. Really easy. If you follow that acronym, it is amazing what you can get done. It really, truly is, okay? Stay positive. Stay away from all the negativity, guys. If you have to turn that TV off and just get away, go take a walk, do it for your own sanity, for your own peace of mind. I know there's a lot of people having issues, and I understand it. I really, truly do, because it can be very, very overwhelming. But just try to stay positive, okay? I will talk to you all later. I hope everybody's having a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.